Jules' Journey here, and I want to say happy holidays and happy Yuletide for those who celebrate the winter solstice and the winter season. I look at this cute little gnome that I got in one of my plants. Isn't he just precious? I wanted to give you guys just a little quick walkthrough of my plants, and lucky for me, all of my plants are at my front entrance along this wall. So it's actually going to be pretty quick and simple. First things first, I have this curved neck lamp. It is highly adjustable and it has, oh, whoops-a-daisy. I forgot that it was dark out because I have my lights on all the time. It has 2 bulbs in there, okay? Now, I want to express to you that this is the cool bulb, okay? And it is a 1500 lumen regular white on the cool spectrum. And this is a warm spectrum bulb, very high lumens. And together, these would give the same purpose as that purple or that red and blue lights that people sell constantly as grow lights. However, I actually find this very appealing, very bright, as well as I actually get better results with this than I ever have with that plant light that I bought. So if you're looking for lights, you can take that splicer that I just showed you in my lamp, where you take it, you put it into one socket and it provides 2, and you can have a cool and a warm bulb in the same area, pointing to the same area. Okay, so let me start from here. I've had this philodendron, green, I believe is what it's called. And I love the new growth. The new growth comes out in this gorgeous maroon color. And my birds actually were nibbling on this when I had it up there. And now they do it to those ones. So those are little parakeet bite marks. And I didn't look it up, but so far my parakeets are alive and well. They really like the tender little ones. In here is I bought a bag of, what is that stuff called? They're wood chips, you know, what they lay down, mulch, okay? And then I mixed that mulch with a little bit of soil, and this plant has been loving it, okay? So anything that is an aroid, which grows off trees or in between trees, I mixed my mulch mixture with a little bit of soil to provide that type of environment. This is my philodendron Brazil, and a lot of these plants, I will say, looked almost dead when I brought them back in the house, but I have nursed them back to health, and almost every leaf you see from a plant that's been outside, which would be these, have been outside, are basically new from bringing them in this winter. So they've been in the house for a few months now. What you see there is cinnamon, and I have been putting cinnamon on all of my plants and either leaving it on the top or mixing it in, and it has absolutely helped with the gnat problem, okay? This is my graveyard plant, otherwise known as a purple waffle plant, and when I purchased it from Walmart this summer, it was full, hanging over with tons and tons of aerial roots, or whatever you would call it. It was rooting out. Now, I actually plan on putting this into a wider bowl and allowing it to spread along the soil, but it really does look good, and it's a heavy drinker. Here is my philodendron Xanadu. I'm not sure exactly what age it is at right now, but it's slowly starting to get the how it's going to start having those slits in the leaves over time. And it has a lot of new growth in there. I don't know if you can see it with my hand. All of these little leaves here. So that's absolutely beautiful. I am so happy that I found this at the Olympia Nursery up north. It's about a 30-minute drive. And as you can see, there is the wood chips mixed with a little bit more soil than these ones. I would say it is 1/4 wood chips and 3/4 soil, okay, for this one. And then, of course, my cinnamon on it. I've noticed a huge improvement in my plants after using the cinnamon. Here is my Pilea peperomoides, and it is doing quite well. It was a little too cold and dropped quite a few of the lower leaves. However, I think that is a normal thing for it to do. Oops, I just noticed I was recording my girlfriend's name. Anyway, whatever. Find me then. And I love that it's giving out babies. Here was one that had leaves, and it was either too cold or too wet, and it dropped the leaves. But I do have a couple, one back there, one down here, and then obviously the big one that you can really see right there. So that one is doing just fine, and it is in a mixture of like maybe just a pinch of wood chips and mostly soil. Okay, I don't do anything crazy. I just throw wood chips in there to add that aeration for plants that require it, okay? I don't go crazy with this mixture and that mixture. And this is just a tour, but I'm going to have some plant care, and I'm going to go through what's in my box because I saw one of my other friends did what's in her plant box. So I'm going to do what's in my plant box. So this is only about my plants. I have all my pileas right here. These are all pileas. This is a friendship pilea, I believe. And I think it's so beautiful. And it's actually got a new tiny one right there growing out. I was really worried because it wasn't growing too much, but it definitely wasn't falling. But this is new. This is new. Okay, so it's happy. This one is sparse at this point, and I think it was too cold. So I mixed up the soil a little, made sure that some air could get in there. This is the baby tears, okay? And I'm hoping that with a lot more light and a little bit more warmth, it'll be happy. This is Chelsea's, my girlfriend's lucky bamboo that her boss gave her, which is a Dracaena, but I don't have it with the other Dracaenas because I think it looks very nice on this display right here. And this right here is to add to the ambiance. Isn't that sweet and fun? So, and then I have like special crystals and stuff in there, like a real crystal. Up here are all my new roses for Christmas. Chelsea bought me this gorgeous, absolutely amazing mini rose for Christmas. Isn't that so beautiful? And then I went to Fred Meyer up north in Tumwater, and some of these were on sale. So as you'll see, there is kind of like a dead looking one there, but I did treat it with a fungicide as well as cut it back. So it was on sale, 50% off. So, but I do believe that those are pink and white roses. So this is the kind of the ugliest one, and like I said, it was on sale, so it was already kind of falling apart, unfortunately, but I strongly believe that it will be just fine. Roses are that type of plant that just bounce back. So out of these, I'm going to have to show you when they're in full bloom and when I've nursed them back to health, because they weren't in very good shape when I bought them. But I got yellow, and then I got a beautiful yellowish pink one, and then I got a beautiful white one. So you can't see them here, and I was going to save some buds. It looks like they're in a cocoa coir, okay? But they are bouncing back. Since I started taking care of them, I gave them a treatment of water, a treatment of fertilizer, and a fungicide treatment since they've been home. I think this is the white one. So I will definitely keep you guys posted on how these turn out. But at this point, I'm very happy having a rose collection because I did have roses before and they didn't make it. I left them outside and they actually got burnt. Here is my pink princess, Hoya, I believe is what it's called, or my crimson princess. See, most of those Hoyas, it's the white on the outside, the green in the middle, but this is actually white in the middle and green on the outside. And let me step into the light. My birds love this plant. As you can see, I kind of let them play up here sometimes, and I've tested which plants can stay here for them. But anyway, I've moved this since, and they now do not access this plant. But the new growth is a beautiful little pink color, and it is growing quite well, slowly but well. And further down, this is my original spider plant, which is the white in the middle and the green and lime green on the outside. And this is the curly Bonnie, I believe, and she is in very good health. And it is, I let it dry out, but it is a soil mixture with very little bark in it for aeration. Okay, and then these are my two regular spider plants. Can you spot the difference? If you noticed, one has white in the middle and one has green in the middle, that is exactly the difference. The shape of the leaves are the same. This is the variegata, and when I got it off of Etsy, you might see it in my Etsy haul, it was much, much smaller. They were just little clippings, and they have taken off quite well, I believe. And then this is just the main original airplane plant, spider plant, with the white in the middle and the green on the outsides, and it's doing quite well. I allow it to dry out completely. Most of these I allow to dry out completely. I'll do some more care, so if you see any plant you want me to mention the care or show you how I repotted it, this side is kind of things that I don't let dry out 100%, and then kind of like in the middle, in the top, I let out dry out. Anyway, it's kind of just my layout right now. Here is my Hoya carrii, and I just recently put cinnamon on this, so there was a few. This bottom leaf with the very bottom leaf right there is brand new. It hasn't shaped itself into a heart yet. Brand new leaf. I mean, I watched it grow from a tiny little one. And Jenny, one of my YouTube friends, told me to spike it up, give it some support, and give it a little cut. And in that process, I managed to get quite a bit of new growth. You see all the green, even right there. So I'm very satisfied. All of my Hoyas are in a areoid type mixture, okay? And they get bright light. This is my Chelsea. She's very beautiful. This leaf right here is the newest leaf, and this vine actually is quite new. It's been pushing out from that area, and these are two separate little plants, as you can see right there. So it's in pretty good health. I've seen it grow, but I've also seen it kind of stall. So these are also new leaves right there at the very top. I hope you're enjoying this tour. This is my silver sequin Hoya, and she is absolutely beautiful. All of those white splotches are the reason it's called the silver sequin. And I display those right there. And then this little basket right here is just a couple things I grew from seed. These are morning glories that I grew from seed. They're not in the best of health, but I left them outside, so they're being nursed back. And these are sweet peas that I just started this month, so they should be okay. And then my beautiful, what is it? English silver ivy. I really had to have it when I saw it at Safeway out on the coast when we were visiting family, because I always have to buy myself a gift when we do that. These are from Home Depot, and when I first brought them home, they fell apart, and I've been nursing them back to health ever since. What I've noticed about snake plants is when they're trying to grow roots, you want to give them some moisture, but don't keep them wet, okay? And they are pushing out new growth from the center, but they are such slow growers. They need a lot of light, actually. So I've been giving them quite a lot of light. If you don't want to see it grow, sure, give it low light. But this one is growing too. And I'm trying to show you. See? Little new growth in there. Little new growth coming out there. So these are different types of snake plants, okay? We're getting to some exciting stuff here. Now this, what is one of those purple shamrock clovers. I can't remember exactly what they're called. And you can see, now this is a bulb that I dug up from down the street. One of the businesses down there have a whole patch of these beautiful purple shamrocks, like the houseplant kind that people buy. Now it was growing, and then for some reason it stopped growing. So I put it in this pot, loosened up the soil, and stuck the bulb about a quarter of the way out of the soil and allowed it to dry out just a bit. And then it produced and kept it under light. So a lot of these fuzzy plants were all together, but they were like slowly dying, like these three in the brown ones, the big ones, and then the back ones. They were slowly dying in this big shallow pot. You may have seen in some of my other videos. So I have opted to give them their own personal containers to see if I can get a little more growth out of that and a little bit more bird poop. Sorry guys. So this is my baby bunny bellies. It's healthy, it's alive, but it really needed its own little pot. I honestly don't know if I'm going to end up throwing these away because they are growing, but they're just so sad looking. This is a bear paws, and this is the pussy ears. I'm desperately hoping that now that I've transferred them to their own tiny container, that they will put out lots of roots and start growing, as well as their little broken leaves. This is my teddy bear vine, and it has quite a bit of healthy parts, but I'm just really hoping for it to take off and really put out lots of roots. So it's quite healthy. This is kind of a little surprise plant here because my this is my I believe it's what it's called. Anyway, I'm going to show you. That bulb right there has to stay right on the top of the soil or the thing will die, okay? And it's growing roots, so I've buried a tiny bit of the vine. And the vine near my thumb was a broken piece that I stuck in there, and look at all that new growth. The very bottom leaf is the one that was there. Everything above it is brand new. So it is growing roots down below the surface. So basically I have 2 cuttings in here and 1 main one with that big bulb. And they are surviving. Right here they get quite a bit of light because usually I have, this is like my highlight section, and I usually have my lamp kind of over in this corner, shining down hard on these plants, but sometimes I put it back so it can give everything a good dose of healthy sunlight. So it likes a lot of light coming down below, and it has to be dry. It has to. Like, you do not want that to be wet at all. Like, just a little dribble of water once in a while just to keep it alive. Like, I'm telling you, do not soak it. Everybody says, oh my God, soak it and then let it dry. No, not at that stage. Maybe when it's a full plant, but at this stage, it just needs a little dribble, and that's it. Do not soak it. I'm telling you. I just got this beautiful pothos, this silver satin pothos at Safeway. I gotta say, you guys, I'm actually really digging Safeway. So I love it. She's gorgeous. This is a cutting. And now that I have a Christmas cactus, look at the difference between these. I think this is a Thanksgiving cactus because they're more rounded. I don't know, that one's kind of spiky, but that one's kind of rounded. Anyway, so I think what I have here, this cutting from the church down the way, that I actually have to go soon to a meeting. I'm going to an NA meeting. Anyway, I got that cutting from it. So I'm going to have to pick this up, but I hope at this point you've enjoyed seeing those plants. And as you can see, I have plenty more to tell you guys about. So just hang in there, and I'm going to have a part 2, okay? So thank you for stopping by and visiting me, and I hope you enjoyed part 1 of my tour. And I will see you at the next one. Have a blooming, beautiful day, evening, afternoon. Bye!